I'm Kristen with Into the Light Healing and Bodywork. You've selected our neuropathy video for the feet. So we're going to get started in a seated position. So grab yourself a chair and let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start with our feet planted on the ground. See if you can feel 3 points on your foot. So imagine this is my foot. The ball of the foot on the inside, the ball of the foot on the outside, just before, below the toes, and then also your heel. So you have those 3 points that you're paying attention to and giving contact with the ground. And while you're here, even though you're not putting a ton of weight through your feet, just think about evenly putting the weight that is on the ground, just evenly distributing it between those 3 points on each foot. So as we sit here and we're thinking about those 3 points, and we're thinking about what it feels like for our feet to be on the ground, and yes, part of neuropathy is that your sensation in your feet is off, to say the least. So let's just be very mindful and invite our bodies to use the sensation that you have and bring it to your awareness. So we're going to put our hands just on our knees and just sit in a relaxed position. And we're going to pay attention to our breath and the sensation through our feet. So let's start taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. And I want you to keep doing this breathing as I kind of talk to you a little bit. So, with your feet on the ground, keep breathing. What's it feel like to you right now? Do you have a warm or cold floor? Hard floor, carpet? Are you on a yoga mat? Any tidbit of information that you have, acknowledge it and move on. Look for something else. Now think about those 3 points on each foot that we just talked about. And imagine you've got roots growing down from those points down into the floor. And with each breath that you take, imagine those roots get a little bit deeper. They grow a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger, as they delve deeper and deeper into the earth. Keep breathing, deep breaths. Now I invite you to pick up one foot. You can stretch it out, let your heel rest, or you can hold it up, whatever you feel like doing. I'd just like to invite a little bit of motion through the toes, through the ankle. You could do circles, you could write the alphabet. Just one foot at a time here, bringing a little bit of motion through the ankle, through the foot, toes. And what's it feel like in your foot as you're doing this range of motion? Is there a point in your foot where the feeling stops, or in your ankle or in your calf? Can you tell what your ankle is doing if you close your eyes? Can you wiggle your toes? Just invite a little bit of motion through here. And if you want, you can even add a little extra and do a little bit of neck rolls. Kind of a nice way to integrate more of the body. Everything is connected. All right, we're going to let this leg down and then pick up the other leg, or you can let it rest on the ground, either is fine. And we're just going to do the same thing over here, just inviting a little bit of motion through here. Ooh, crack. And you can see if you notice a difference with stretch going one way or the other, up, down. My ankle is cracking a lot this morning. Side to side. As you stretch, do you notice if there's any places that really don't move very much and they feel like all the way up into the calf it's stretching as you move? You might want to hold it in that spot for a minute, as long as it feels good for your body. Do the neck rolls with it. Try closing your eyes, seeing if you can feel what your toes, what your ankle is doing, even when your eyes are closed. That's an extra hard challenge. I may or may not be able to do that, and that's okay. Good. Okay, we're going to put this foot down, and then we're going to scooch to the edge of the seat. One foot planted so that your ankle is right underneath your knee. The other foot is going to go back behind you underneath the chair. So just as far as you can go comfortably. If you need to hold on to your chair, you may absolutely do so. Please be safe. So toes are curled under, and you're just going to bring it back like that and press the top of your foot into the ground. You can, if you want a little bit extra, you can even try to lift up a little bit into a semi-lunge. That's working the quadricep muscles over here, helping to strengthen and support the knee while you're getting a stretch on the floor foot behind you. Great, let's go ahead and switch. And if you did the lunges, so as I'm doing the lunge, I'm not feeling a ton of stretch in my top of my foot. So if you did the same as me and you want to do just a stretch for the top of the foot, you don't bring it back quite as far. So you'll just kind of curl the toes under and then press the ankle forward. Pushing that forward like that will give you a stretch through the front of the shin. So we'll hold this for a moment. And if you don't love just sitting and stretching, you can always add something in for your arms. So we can do hands together, bring them up overhead, and exhale, bring them down to the sides. While you're doing this, since you're moving your arms, I invite you to also have a good abdominal contraction. Your core needs to be strong to support what you do. So if you pull your belly button in and up, that will give you some strength and stability through your core as you move your arms. So breathing in and going down and out to the side. Let's switch feet. Breathing in and out. All right, foot comes back to meet its brother or sister, and then we're going to turn our bodies on our chairs to face the right side. So when we're going to do these chair poses, I'd like you to hold on to the back of the chair with one hand, and then you're going to kind of scooch towards the edge so that one cheek, one sit bone is kind of falling off. So you have your hand on the chair to help give you a little balance and support. So for the first one, we're going to bring the left foot back, and I invite you to curl your toes underneath. So I have a yoga mat here, but if you don't have one, that's okay. You can just curl them on the floor. And then if you push back through your heel, you'll get a nice stretch through the front of the ankle, through the calf, and then the front of the ankle is doing kind of like a mobilization. So from here, we're going to Hold that belly in and up, nice and strong core. And then we're going to bring our arm up. And let's do 3 breaths. From here, we're going to bring the arm down and then turn the palm forward. We're going to shift our pelvis so that we're kind of pushing that front leg forward a little bit more, and you might want to adjust your foot, bring it forward a little bit so it stays underneath your knee at 90 degrees. And we're going to turn the torso so that you're facing me. And then we're going to bring our arms out to the sides. So this one, and make sure you're bringing your head back as you do this, that will give you a little bit more weight back towards the chair so that you're not leaning forward and falling forward. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Bring it down. Knees come to front. Let's stretch our legs out in front of us, and then bottoms on the edge of the seat. I'd like to invite you to stretch forward, leaning forward, walking your hands down, and keep, I don't think you can see my feet here, but go ahead and engage your toes so that you're pulling your toes up towards your knees, and keeping those muscles active. That will help strengthen everything down there. So we're going to walk our hands forward, keeping those feet engaged and stretching through the back and through the hamstrings. Take a nice deep breaths here. A little bend in the knees is okay. Make sure to listen to your body here. So if you're feeling some discomfort and it's more than a strong stretch, please back off, come up, walk up a little bit. Try not to press through your knees. That puts too much strain on them. So below the knees or above the knees for your hands, and leaning forward from the hips. If you need a little bit more stretch but can't quite do it without feeling like you're going to fall forward, you can tip your head forward and round your back. Try to keep strong abdominal muscles as you're here, and then walk your hands back up. And then we're going to go to the left. So here we've got, just like on the other side, we've got one foot planted underneath the knee, and then the other leg, the cheek is off of the side of the chair, and if you scooch back, your arm might be a little bit more comfortable. But we're going to keep our toes into the floor and push our heels back behind us to keep that stretch going through the calf and mobilization through the front of the ankle. And then we're going to breathe in, arm comes up. Head back, chin stays parallel with the ground. Good. Now we're going to bring our arm down, and if you need to go back a little bit more or adjust your stance a little bit, whatever feels right for you, we're going to turn the torso, kind of open up the pelvis a little bit. And then open the arms. Check your alignment if you need to. Head comes back over your shoulders, chin comes down, turn your head towards the forward fingers. Tummy nice and tight. Good, and then arms come down. We're going to turn and face the front again. So this time we're going to have our feet nice and wide, and you can do knees bent or straight for this one. It's all about your comfort level, so this will be a little bit easier. So if you want to try this first, just to get a sense of where you are balance-wise, because leaning forward can challenge balance. So if you're here, be here, that's fine. We're going to breathe in and then nice tight tummy. Breathe out, bending forward. You can slide your hands down your shins if that feels right for you. Getting a nice stretch through the adductor muscles, the insides of the thighs. If that felt fine to do that, and you want to try doing straight leg, I think the stretch is a little bit stronger with straight legs. Again, engaging your toes, lifting them up towards your knees. I feel that in my hamstrings too. And then walking back up. Feet together. Bring them back so that they are almost as far back as you can get them, keeping your heels on the ground. And I need to come forward a little bit more. And then your knees are going to be shifted forward. So you want your toes to be in the same line. We're going to do a few sit to stands here. And I'd like to invite you to do them without holding on, which can be scary. So if you need a spotter, grab a friend. And if you need another chair in front of you, that would absolutely work, so that you have something to steady yourself when you go to stand up. But remember, never pull back on a chair to stand up because it would just come back. Anyway, so when you breathe in, take a nice deep breath, fill up your lungs. When you breathe out, tighten your tummy, pull that, and start to squeeze your butt cheeks. Okay, one more preparatory breath. Get everything ready, and then on the next exhale, we're going to stand. So breathe in, get ready. Exhale, press into your feet, squeeze your buns. Stand up. Here's where you grab the chair if you need it. And then exhale, sit back down. We're going to do 2 more. So breathe in, lift your chest, get yourself ready, scooch to the edge of your seat. And then breathe out. Squeeze your buns. You can press into your knees if you need to. And then back down. Scooch to the edge of your chair if you went back. So your feet planted. Think about this time those 3 points on the inside ball of the foot, outside ball of the foot, and heel. Evenly weight centered on each foot. Lean forward. Breathe in and exhale. Press into those 3 pieces on each foot, squeezing your buns at the top, and then coming back down. Very good. Okay, so that was the hardest thing for today. So what we're going to do next is straighten out the knees. You can come all the way to the back of your chair so that you're resting in the back. We're going to bring our toes up towards, just the toes, come up towards the knee. And then the ankle is going to come up too. And then we're going to curl our toes and then point the ankle away. So uncurl the toes, keep the ankle pointed. Then pull the ankles up. Toes are still staying up. Curl the toes, point the ankle away, keep the toes curled. Uncurl the toes, pull the ankle up. Curl the toes, point the ankle away. Uncurl the toes, stick with me, ankle comes up. Toes uncurled. Curl the toes. Point the ankle away. Uncurl, pull up, and rest. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to bring feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. You can stay relaxed back to the back of your chair. Hands on your thighs, and we're going to do a little bit more breathing. So I invite you to take a nice deep breath in, fill up your lungs, fill up your belly. And then breathe out, squeeze everything out. Good. Now we're going to come to normal breathing. Chin comes back. Notice myself having that posture. Normal breathing. Great. Let's pay attention now to our feet, to those 3 points on the feet. Are they contacting the ground? Is an even amount of weight coming from your foot going to the ground in each of those points? Let's invite a little bit of those roots to come in. Growing down from each of those points into the earth. With each breath, they get a little bit deeper, a little bit wider, and spread out to support you. Do you notice a difference from when we started today's session to now? If not, that's okay. Each time you do this practice, you can add something different. You can think about those roots that we're digging in right now. You can think about doing that when we're in one of our poses where your feet are on the ground. You can begin to take away the chair as you feel strong and ready. Doing these poses without the chair. Let's bring your hands together, heart center. Thank you for taking the time to perform this practice and for helping yourself to feel better, get stronger, more flexible. Thanks for doing yoga with me.